I'm here today with Chris Worden, and Chris is the problem solver at First Business Rescue. Welcome, Chris. Dying to find out what the problem solver does at First Business Rescue.
Thanks, Mick. Yeah, essentially, we support limited company directors in the UK. We're very specific. We work with UK limited company directors when their businesses are starting to suffer financially. So they come to us, we give them advice on what their options may be. And where we're fairly unique in the industry is we highlight any potential pitfalls that going into an insolvency procedure um, could cause them. A lot of people get in trouble when it comes to insolvency in the UK because it's a minefield. They don't know what questions to ask. And because they don't know what questions to ask, they don't know where the problems may be.
Absolutely. So, and are you dealing with any particular types of business?
It really does depend, from the butcher, the builder to the candlestick maker. The past few years have shown, thrown up so many challenges. It'd be easier to talk about the industries that haven't been affected by what's gone on over the last 3 years. So yeah, we work with a whole range. On my desk at the moment, there's a whole range of different businesses that are, common in one thing. They're struggling right now.
Yeah, and I guess there are other options out there for limited company business owners. Probably not that many, but there are options out there. What would you say differentiates you, Chris, to other options that they might have?
Well, I speak to people in a language they understand. I call a spade, and I'll take the time to help them understand their position, and that's quite unique in my industry. So, yeah, I love it when people have took more than one piece of advice. I think that's really important. And I get told a lot, you've explained things in a different manner. And if I can do, I'd like to plug our YouTube channel. We're probably the only insolvency business out there that's done hundreds of videos on what directors are asking, and it's in a manner that they're going to understand. And that's what I think the key difference is.
Good for you. That's great support. So, what would you say, Chris, inspires you to do what you do? Why do you
I've
get
got
out of bed in the morning?
I've got three young kids. I've got missus at home. I like doing what I do. I help people. If you can help people and make some money while doing it as well, that's a really good thing to be in. We support a lot of businesses. We make a difference. When we speak to a director, we want them to be better off for coming across First Business Rescue, and not every job director we speak to or support turns into a job. But we've got a really sneaky business model. We will give a ton of free advice. There's 95% of our inquiries go nowhere. But what we do is we build up a lot of goodwill. We've answered the questions. We've not tried to shoehorn them into a solution that benefits me. And as a result of that, we're the number one rated corporate insolvency business on Trustpilot. We've got hundreds of positive reviews, and we get referral work. And guess what? If that business we spoke to 2 years ago, if it gets worse for them, they'll come back to us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Offering a valuable service. And sounds like it's rewarding not just financially, but just out of what you're achieving and the impact you can have on business owners' lives.
Mick, I've been there, mate. The reason I got into this business is I had a business that had become insolvent through no fault of my own. The government had changed the goalposts on this incentive that they were giving businesses, and overnight we lost hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of orders. We had to give back £50,000 worth of deposits because we couldn't guarantee to get their job in before this cut happened, and we'd have survived that. But then we realised that we'd been taken for like a couple of £100,000. Our first introduction was to insolvency, was somebody going insolvent on us. So I've been there. I've had the sleepless nights. You know what I mean? I was all right in the day. The phone's going, the emails are flying in. I think it's going to turn round. But then I'd go home and I'd be sat with my family. And mate, listen, if I fall, no one catches me. You know, and that stress of not, you know, I had friends working for me, family working for me, you know, and I just didn't, I didn't know where to turn. So I've been where they're at. I've lived that life. I get the sleepless nights, you know, the guilt, the shame, my pride taking a battering. And I think that puts me in a really good position to help these people. I've been there.
Serious stuff, that, isn't it? And drives a massive amount of empathy, I'm sure, from you to them.
Listen, people kill themselves over this stuff. That's the sad reality. People take their lives on something that, you know what, business has failed. But when you're going through that stuff, it's important to look at what's going okay, you know. Are your kids healthy? You know, are you healthy? You got a roof over you? And sometimes it's just giving the director a bit of a new perspective, because they just don't know what they don't know. They all think they're going to lose the house, they're going to go to prison. But listen, there are people out there who game the system. They're not my client. I haven't got time for those types of people. But if you're a director who's tried your best, and for whatever reason, your business has become insolvent. Oh, listen, let's look at the last 3 years. There was a pandemic that nobody asked for. The world got shut down. That's a distant memory. Since then, we've had energy prices going through the roof. It's very hard to recruit staff. And when you do want to recruit staff, they want wages higher than they've ever had before. You know, your raw materials are more expensive. Interest rates are going up. You know, this is a perfect storm that is suffocating the UK business, whether you are a small one-man band or a multi-million pound company. So it's brutal out there at the moment. And the sooner someone speaks to somebody, listen, you don't have to speak to me. You might hate Northerners. I understand. There are some really good companies out there, but go and speak to someone, because the problem is, for me, a lot of the problems I create are in my own head today. You know, that's why I have to talk to other people. I talk to my peers. I talk to people that I respect. You know, and business owners, the problem, there's a stigma, isn't there, attached to, oh my God, my business is in financial difficulty. My business is failing, therefore I'm failing. That's not true, is it?
And just going back to what you said earlier, I'll bet you've saved a few lives along the way, mate. So well done. Good for you.
Thank you.
So what does the future look like?
I have no idea. You know, I'm not, you know, years ago I used to set lots and lots of goals, and what I try and do now is turn up every day and do my best, and the future will unfold. And if we keep doing a good job, we'll keep being well looked after with a steady stream of inquiries. And yeah, that's it. The future, I can't really see past this weekend. I'm taking my missus away. It was a birthday last weekend, so we're going to go to Manchester on Friday and Saturday. And then we've got my little 3-year-old's birthday in 2 weeks. And then the fat man's coming. So that's about as far ahead as I'm going at the moment, mate.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good for you. One last thing. What have you learnt along the way? What are the key learnings that you've got out of the experiences that you had?
Things will get better. You know, this will pass. This will pass. Nothing, you know, nothing's here forever. You know, the good times will pass, the bad times will pass, and just give things a go. If you turn up every day and give it your all, then you can look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and you can, you know, you've done your best, haven't you? That's all anyone can ask of you.
Chris, great advice. And thank you so much.
Thank you for asking me, Mick. I really appreciate your time.